What if I told you that it's not money, not looks, not even charm that makes a woman truly fall for you? You've been lied to. They told you to impress her with things, but deep down you know that superficial attraction fades. The truth, the thing that captures her heart, is something no one talks about. Your presence. Your grounded, unshakable presence. When a man walks through chaos without being consumed by it, that's what pulls her in. Not your wallet, not your face, but the calm in your eyes, the clarity in your steps. That's what speaks to her instincts louder than any words ever could. Right now you may be doubting yourself, thinking you need more to be enough. But this is your turning point. You either keep chasing validation, or you become the kind of man who doesn't need to chase at all. So if you're ready to stop performing and start embodying real power, hit like, subscribe, turn on notifications and stay until the end. And comment below, I lead with strength, not status. Number 1. The calm that captivates. How emotional mastery makes you irresistible. What if the most attractive thing about you wasn't your looks, money, or intelligence, but your ability to stay centered? That's what this video reveals, the silent power of emotional self-haunting. In a world where men are told to impress, chase, and prove, the Stoic man does the opposite. He remains still. And in that stillness he becomes magnetic. The mistake most men make, they confuse action with attraction. They bombard women with compliments, gifts, attention, thinking more effort equals more love. But the harder you push, the more she retreats, because what women truly crave isn't pressure, it's presence. And presence starts with emotional independence. When a woman can't shake you, when her silence doesn't shake your rhythm, when her mood doesn't dictate your mood, that's when she starts leaning in, not because you're cold, but because you're not reacting. You're rooted, and that's rare. Let's talk connection, not performance. Use her name intentionally, speak to her passions, not her appearance. Instead of "you're beautiful," say, "I love the way your eyes light up when you talk about something you care about." That hits her differently, not because it's clever, but because it's real. Add gratitude when she gives, "Thanks for sharing that with me. I see how much it matters to you." It's simple, sincere, and unforgettable. And don't over-apologize. Only say sorry when it's warranted. Not to smooth discomfort, but to acknowledge reality. That subtle boundary tells her, "I respect you, but I won't bend to avoid tension." That's Stoic confidence in conversation. But words are only half of it. Your body must match your mind. Shoulders relaxed, eyes calm, movements intentional. You're not twitchy, needy, or seeking approval. You're just there, not dominating the space, but owning your space. She'll feel it before she understands it. And when things go wrong, because they will, you don't flinch. Bad date? You stay cool. She pulls away, you don't chase, you observe. Because you've learned the art of influence through non-action. That silence, it says more than 1,000 messages ever could. That's when she starts to feel it. This isn't a man trying to be what she wants. This is a man becoming who he's meant to be, with or without her. And suddenly she wants to be part of it, not because you begged, but because you built. No comment below. I don't chase approval, I become undeniable. Number 2, don't chase, attract. The Stoic reversal of desire. Here's the hard truth. The more you chase her, the less she feels drawn to you, not because you're not good enough, but because neediness repels, and that's where most men go wrong. They confuse pursuit with persuasion and pressure with passion, but real attraction, it happens in stillness, not struggle. Stoicism flips the dynamic completely. It teaches you not to suppress emotion, but to master it. When you no longer need her mood to stabilize your own, you shift from being a follower of energy to the source of it. That change is subtle, but it's powerful. Think of it like this. She throws a test, makes a sarcastic comment, pulls back slightly. Most men panic. They overreact, overtext, over-explain. But the Stoic man doesn't move. He notices, he breathes, and then he says nothing. Not out of coldness, but because he recognizes the game and chooses not to play. That's when she starts leaning forward, not because you tried harder, but because you didn't react. She doesn't say it out loud, but in her mind a question begins forming. Why doesn't he seem affected? And just like that, her curiosity becomes your advantage. Stoicism isn't emotional numbness. It's selective energy. You don't withhold to punish. You withhold because your attention is earned, not free. You don't chase because what's meant for you doesn't need to be begged for. And this mindset starts changing everything. You stop viewing her interest as your goal and start viewing your standard as your filter. You don't need to prove your worth. You already live it. If she sees it, good. If she doesn't, you move on with grace. That kind of detachment, it doesn't make you less attractive. It makes you untouchable. From a Stoic perspective, this is your greatest leverage, being calm in the face of the unpredictable, grounded in the storm of someone else's uncertainty. When you hold your frame, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, you become the gravity others orbit. So stop pushing, stop proving. Just become so centered that she has to come to you, not because you asked her to, but because she feels pulled toward you. No comment below. I attract by staying still. I don't chase, I choose. Number 3. Speak less, mean more. The power of purposeful words. In a world overflowing with noise, the man who speaks with precision stands out. Most guys try to impress with volume, endless jokes, recycled compliments, over-explaining themselves. But what leaves a mark isn't how much you say, it's what you say and why you say it. The Stoic man speaks with purpose. His words aren't about approval, they're about connection. That means he uses her name, not randomly, but intentionally. You know what I love about you, Anna. That single detail signals awareness. It makes her feel seen, not generalized. He praises differently. Instead of, "You're pretty," he says, "There's something in how you explain your ideas." It's rare to see that kind of passion. Suddenly, you're not admiring her body, you're admiring her being, and that lands deeper. He expresses gratitude, not to impress, but to reflect presence. "Thanks for sharing that with me. It shows trust." Gratitude reminds her that connection is a two-way. He apologizes only when it matters, not for being himself, not for silence, only when truth calls for it, and that clarity shows strength, not ego. These aren't tricks, they're reflections of internal alignment. Stoic speech isn't robotic, it's responsible. Because the more control you have over your words, the more control you demonstrate over your mind. And here's the twist. It's not just what you say. It's how comfortable you are with the silence between words. Most people rush to fill every pause, but the Stoic man, he lets the silence breathe. Because he knows presence isn't just spoken, it's felt. This kind of communication creates emotional tension. It makes her anticipate your next words rather than tune them out. She leans in, she pays attention, and most importantly, she remembers. Your words become rare, and in rarity they gain weight. So drop the need to perform, let go of clever lines. Instead, tune in, speak only when your words can deepen connection, not distract from it. Let her feel that when you speak, it means something. Now comment below, I don't speak to impress, I speak to connect. Number 4. Move like you mean it. How Stoic presence speaks without words. Long before you open your mouth, she already feels you. Your presence enters the room first. Your posture, your eyes, your pace, all of it communicates more than any clever phrase ever will. And here's the key: if your body says, I'm grounded, your words don't need to say much at all. The Stoic man moves with intention. He doesn't fidget. He doesn't rush. His steps are deliberate. His shoulders are relaxed. His gaze? Steady. Never aggressive, never evasive. Just calm, controlled, unbothered. This sends a message her instincts pick up immediately. This man isn't looking for attention. He commands it. Let's go deeper. Posture. Stand tall, but without tension. Let your arms rest easily. Don't puff your chest. Let your breath do the work. A man at peace with himself doesn't need to take up space. His energy does that for him. Eye contact. Look, then look away, not out of fear, but out of control. When your gaze isn't searching for approval, it becomes magnetic. You're not asking, do you like me? You're silently saying, I see you, the real you. Movement. Every gesture should feel earned. When you reach for something, do it with presence. When you walk, let your body follow your purpose. You're not wandering, you're directed. These small details build a powerful story about who you are, even before you say a word. But it's not just posture, it's how you respond to her. When she shares something vulnerable, you listen, not to reply, but to understand. When she brings up something small, her favorite author, a stressful week, you remember. You reflect that memory later with a quiet act. A gift? No, just a line. You'd probably like this. It reminds me of that book you mentioned. That's weight. That's presence. And that's what most men miss. They try to entertain her. But women don't remember entertainment. They remember how you made them feel about themselves. And nothing makes her feel more seen than a man who doesn't try to impress, but simply pays attention. From a Stoic view, this is your discipline, control of body, control of intent. When your presence is congruent with your purpose, she doesn't just notice you, she trusts you, even if she doesn't know why. No comment below, I move with presence, not performance. Number 5. Respond with peace, emotional control in romantic chaos. It's easy to stay calm when things go right, but the true measure of a man is how he holds himself when everything doesn't. That's where most men lose the frame. When the date goes awkward, when she goes cold, when her energy shifts. But the Stoic man? He remains unmoved, not because he doesn't care, but because he refuses to hand over his peace. Let's start with the bad date. The food is late, the conversation is dry. Most guys get nervous, start trying harder, over-explaining or apologizing, but not you. You smile, you stay grounded, you understand one simple truth. The moment is neutral, the reaction defines it. And your calm tells her, nothing shakes me. That calm becomes safety, that safety becomes attraction. Then comes distance. Maybe she cancels, maybe she pulls back. The average man responds with panic, texting more, asking if something's wrong. But the Stoic man, he steps back too. Not as a game, but as a principle. He respects her space, not because he's indifferent, but because he's anchored. This is the beauty of Stoic detachment. You don't react to her emotion, you observe it. And in doing so, you give her space to come back without pressure. That space, that calm, it's what makes her trust you, even if she doesn't realize it yet. Now imagine this in a relationship. She's overwhelmed. She tests your tone. She says something passive-aggressive, and you breathe. You don't match chaos with chaos. You don't correct or dominate. You remain still. That stillness becomes a mirror, and she sees herself more clearly. This isn't weakness. It's emotional leadership. It says, I don't need to control you. I control me, and that's enough. In relationships, peace is power, and it's a rare kind of power, because anyone can react, few can resist, fewer still can transcend. So the next time she pulls away, gets cold, or lashes out, don't explain, don't chase, just observe, breathe, and hold your ground. She'll feel it, and she'll respect it, maybe even return because of it. Now, comment below, I respond with peace, not panic. Number 6. Don't perform, transform. Why authentic men pull her in. Here's where most men fall. They become what they think she wants. They mimic her interests, mirror her values, filter their opinions. They contort themselves into a version they hope she'll approve of. But the tragic irony, the moment you abandon who you are for approval, you become invisible. The Stoic man never performs. He presents. Not a mask, but a mirror, clear, grounded, and real. He doesn't try to be everything. He simply is himself, unapologetically. And in a world full of noise and imitation, that kind of authenticity cuts through everything. It starts with embracing your truth. That means accepting your flaws, not hiding them. It means living your values, not tweaking them to be more likable. It means letting go of the need to be liked and committing to being real. Because when you stop chasing validation, you create space for genuine connection. She's not pulled to you because you said the right things. She's pulled because she feels you're solid. You know who you are, what you want, and you don't compromise it to win approval. That kind of consistency is rare, and it's magnetic. Now, here's the deeper level. Your mission matters. When you live with intention, when you build, grow, lead, train, you become a gravitational force. Not because you're trying to be impressive, but because you're becoming impressive by nature. She sees it in how you walk, in how you listen, in how you make decisions without second-guessing, and in how you respond to pressure, not by flinching, but by anchoring. From the Stoic lens, this is amor fati in action. Loving your fate, not trying to escape it. You don't run from who you are, you build upon it. And the more grounded you are in your identity, the more people orbit around it, including her. So, don't morph. Don't perform. Let her meet the real you, refined but raw, and watch how the world adjusts to the man who no longer adjusts himself to the world. No comment below. I don't perform, I become. Number 7. Master yourself and everything else follows. Attraction isn't about tricks. It's not about rehearsed lines or carefully calculated replies. At its core, it's about energy, and energy stems from self-mastery. When a man is in control of himself, his thoughts, his reactions, his presence, he doesn't have to chase anyone. People naturally gravitate toward him, especially women. This is what the final lesson reveals. The Stoic man becomes irresistible not by trying to be, but by being fully himself, consistently and unapologetically. His calm isn't a tactic, it's who he is. His silence isn't cold, it's full. His detachment isn't indifference, it's freedom. And that changes everything. When you embody this kind of stillness, women respond differently. You're no longer someone to test, manipulate, or measure. You become a standard, a man she compares others to, not because of what you gave her, but because of how you made her feel in your presence. She remembers that you didn't flinch when she pulled away, You didn't flood her with attention when she was distant. You didn't lose your balance to gain her approval. You stood still, and in that stillness you made her feel safe, curious, and seen. This isn't about suppressing emotions. It's about wielding them with discipline. It's about learning that you control your mind, not the other way around. And in doing so, you become the kind of man who doesn't just get women's attention, he earns their respect. From career to love, from conflict to connection, everything improves when you stop reacting and start responding, when you stop chasing and start choosing, when you stop performing and start living. This is the Stoic way. It's not glamorous, it's not loud, but it is powerful. Because once you build peace inside yourself, you become unshakable. And in that stillness, you find something deeper than love. You find command. She may not understand it, but she'll feel it. And once she does, she won't forget it. Now comment below, when I mastered myself, the rest came to me. You came into this video believing that love is earned, by showing off, by proving your worth. But now you understand, true attraction begins when you stop seeking approval and start living in alignment with who you are. Because here's the truth. Women don't fall for perfection, they fall for presence, for consistency, for emotional clarity. You never needed more money, you never needed a new face. What you needed was to strip away the noise and remember your value doesn't need decoration, it needs direction. She doesn't need a man who can buy the world. She wants a man who doesn't lose himself chasing it. If this message hit home, like this video, subscribe and comment. I build quietly, I attract naturally. You don't need to be flashy, just unshakable. The man you're becoming doesn't beg, he builds.